A very good afternoon to all. Welcome back to the class. Now let's move on to the part 6 of lipid metabolism now. The contents of today's discussion are disorders of lipid metabolism, in that atherosclerosis, fatty liver and obesity. In the last class we have discussed about what is hypercholesterolemia. Now we are moving to other disorders of lipid metabolism. So they are atherosclerosis, fatty liver and obesity. Let's move with the first disease, that is atherosclerosis. What is atherosclerosis? It refers to the buildup of fats, cholesterol and other substances in and on the artery walls called plaque, which can restrict blood flow. You can observe the image, the buildup of fats, cholesterol and other substances related to lipids in and on the artery walls called plaque, which can restrict the blood flow. So it occupies the blood vessel, so blood flow is restricted. Thereby it leads the disease called atherosclerosis. So when blood flow is restricted, other complications also arise for the human. How we can find whether atherosclerosis is present or not? What are the symptoms? In heart, it may lead to chest pain or pressure. It is called angina. In brain, it is called as stroke. When blood flow is restricted, the artery wall that is going to brain causes stroke. Likewise, in arms and legs, it causes claudication. The disease called claudication, that is nothing but leg pain when walking, claudication process. Then in kidneys, it causes high blood pressure and or kidney failure. So these are all the symptoms of atherosclerosis. In heart, chest pain or pressure, that is called angina. In brain, it causes stroke. In arms and legs, leg pain when walking arises. In kidneys, it leads high blood pressure or kidney failure. What are the causes of atherosclerosis? High blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, smoking and other sources of tobacco, insulin resistance, obesity or diabetes, inflammation from diseases. These are all the causes for arising atherosclerosis. Those who have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high triglycerides, it is also a type of fat, triglycerides. Then smoking and other sources of tobacco, insulin resistance, obesity or diabetes and inflammation from other diseases causes atherosclerosis. What are the risk factors for arising atherosclerosis? Those who have high blood pressure, as we have discussed in the last slide, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, smoking and other tobacco use, a family history of early heart disease, lack of exercise and an unhealthy diet will lead atherosclerosis. Let's see the complications arise due to atherosclerosis. Here various parts of the body and the diseases are mentioned. In heart, atherosclerosis occurs, it will lead coronary artery disease. In brain, if it occurs, then carotid artery disease, it is nothing but a transient ischemic attack, TIAR, stroke. In arms and legs, if it is found, then it is called peripheral artery disease. In kidneys, if atherosclerosis occurs, then it is called chronic kidney disease. If it occurs anywhere in the body, it is called as aneurysms. So these are the complications will arise due to atherosclerosis disorder. So we have seen about what is atherosclerosis, where it is occurred, what are the causes, what are the symptoms, what are the risk factors. These all we have discussed, complications. Next we will see how we can prevent atherosclerosis by means of quitting smoking, eating healthy foods, exercising regularly, maintaining a healthy weight. So these are the preventive measures of atherosclerosis. How we will diagnose atherosclerosis? First, by means of physical examination, checking blood pressure, we could find whether arteries are narrowed or not. So physical examination is the first process. Then move on to blood test. Blood test is to identify high cholesterol level. Then Doppler ultrasound scan. This will say about whether blood flow is normal or it is restricted. Then ankle brachial index. This will say about swelling at the ankle and feet. Ankle brachial index. Then electrocardiogram for functioning, checking the functions of heart. Then an exercise stress test. During exercise, if you find any stress, that is also an indication of atherosclerosis. Then cardiac catheterization and angiogram by means of inserting a catheter to heart by sending a dye to identify whether atherosclerosis is present in the heart. Then a computerized tomography, that is CT scan or magnetic resonance angiography, MRA. These are the scan and blood tests and different diagnostic methods for atherosclerosis. Let's go with the treatment procedures for atherosclerosis. There are three categories of drug groups will be used for treating atherosclerosis. First set of drug medications to lower bad cholesterol, that is lower density lipoprotein. Then antiplatelet medications, second part is antiplatelet medications to reduce the clump in the narrowed arteries to prevent the formation of blood clot. Then third is to treat coronary artery disease. For this purpose, beta blocker medications, angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors, that is ACE inhibitors, calcium channel blockers and diuretics. To lower bad cholesterol or LDL, lower density lipoproteins, cholesterol medications as we have discussed under hypercholesterolemia, the same types of drugs, statins, other many category of drugs we have discussed. So those can be used to control bad cholesterol. So these are all the treatment procedures for atherosclerosis. Let's discuss about the availability of surgical procedures also for atherosclerosis. They are angioplasty and stent placement, carotid endarterectomy, then fibrinolytic therapy, then bypass surgery. In angioplasty and stent placement, the surgery is taken place at the atherosclerosis part in blood vessel, and a stent like a tube is kept at the place of surgery for better blood flow. Then in carotid endarterectomy, artery is cut off, that means from the place, that means where atherosclerosis is present, that portion is removed from the blood vessel part. Then fibrinolytic therapy to reduce the fibrin formation. Blood clot formation is minimized by means of fibrinolytic therapy. Then bypass surgery, in which at the place of atherosclerosis after surgery means our other parts of body or other tissue is taken and it is fit as a blood vessel for proper blood flow. It is bypass surgery, replacing the damaged valve with other parts of tissue from the body is taken and made surgery. So these are all the surgical procedures for atherosclerosis. So with the last slide, we have come to the end of atherosclerosis. Now let's move on to the next disorder, metabolic disorder of lipid metabolism, that is called as fatty liver. The name itself, it indicates fat formation or fat deposition occurs in the liver. It is called as hepatic steatosis. Hepatic steatosis, that means fat buildups in the liver. Normal fat content will be there in the liver. If it crosses the limit, abnormal fat deposition leads fatty liver. So this may cause inflammation in the liver, the term called as cirrhosis occur. Let's see what are the types of fatty liver. There are two types. One is the group of persons, those who take alcohol, it will cause alcoholic fatty liver disease, AFLD. For non-alcoholic persons, it may develop non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD. These are all the two types of fatty liver, alcoholic and non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. What are the symptoms of fatty liver? How could we find about the presence of fatty liver in the body? Loss of appetite, weight loss, weakness, fatigue, nose bleeds, itchy skin, yellow skin and eyes, web-like clusters of blood vessels under your skin, abdominal pain, abdominal swelling, swelling of the legs, breast enlargement in men, and confusion. These are all the symptoms of fatty liver. Let's move on to the causes of fatty liver. How fatty liver develops? Through obesity, due to high blood sugar, high levels of fat, especially triglycerides, then insulin resistance. These are the four main causes of developing a fatty liver: obesity, high blood sugar, high levels of fat, especially triglycerides, then insulin resistance. Let's see the diagnostic methods for fatty liver. There are four different types of methods, starting with physical examination where blood pressure is checked, then blood tests for the levels of ALT and AST. What is ALT? Alanine transferase. AST is aspartate transferase. These two are amino acid transferase enzymes present in the liver. So in abnormal conditions, the levels will be altered. Mostly it will be increased from the normal level. So from that we can find the inflammation or cirrhosis of fatty liver present in the liver cells. Then next is CT and MRI scan also indicates the presence of fatty liver. Liver means fat deposition in the liver. Then liver biopsy surgery is made for removing fatty liver. Coming to the third disease, that is obesity. It is also lipid metabolism disorder. Metabolic disorder due to lipid metabolism. So what is obesity? Obesity is a complex disease involving an excessive amount of body fat. What is the parameter to diagnose obesity? Mainly body mass index. What is the weight status according to body mass index? Below 18.5 body mass index, it is considered as underweight. From 18.5 to 24.9 is normal, 25 to 29.9 is overweight, where 30 body mass index and higher indicates obesity. How to determine body mass index? It is divide your weight. It is calculated by dividing your weight in pounds by your height in inches squared and multiply by 703, or divide your weight in kilograms by your height in meters squared. So this is how body mass index is calculated and the status about weight is given. So when obesity occurs, if body mass index crosses 30 or higher, leads obesity. What are the complications of obesity? An obese person will be affected by heart disease and strokes, type 2 diabetes, certain cancers, digestive problems, gynecological problems, sleep apnea and osteoarthritis. Sleep apnea means during sleep breathing will be stopping and again it will be starting. So this is called sleep apnea. It is due to obesity. Then osteoarthritis, inflammation in the bones. Gynecological problem, digestive problems, cancers, type 2 diabetes. This we have discussed under carbohydrate metabolism itself. Then heart diseases and strokes. With this we are coming to the end of discussion on disorders of lipid metabolism. With this discussion on complete lipid metabolic pathways and disorders get over. From next class we will be discussing about amino acids metabolism. Thank you all for patient listening.